It's real.
Now that makes my curiosity piqued, so I'm gonna have to check that out. Not saying I'm going to buy them, I just want to check it out just to see what it looks like.
Shack space on gummies.
Are they big?
Probably that big.
Is there like a special gummy for Shaq or? I mean, he's a 7 foot. I don't know.
I don't know. It looks
6. I
pretty
don't know.
small
He's
bag.
big. All right, we'll get started here in just a second. All right. It is 5:30. I will call this November 18th Board of Works meeting order. If you please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Treasurer Price, will you please call roll?
Gates.
Here.
Brianna Maxwell.
Present.
Spencer Kingery.
Present. Very good. The board has been presented with the November. I put the wrong date on here. I believe it was the 4th, correct? The November 4th meeting minutes. Are there any additions, subtractions, corrections? If not, is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
I have a motion to approve. Any discussion?
I'll second our motion. I have nothing.
All right, all in favor of approving the meeting minutes for November 4th, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Very good. Next item of business is the claims for November 18th totaling $2,393,201.15. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any discussion on the claims? It was a larger docket for some items that come around, but feel free to ask any questions about the claims submitted.
So ready grants, distribution and the wastewater clarification,
Correct.
clarifier, not clarification, clarifier payment.
Yeah, so ready funds were dispersed per the reimbursement from the IEDC, the state of Indiana. So of course we receive invoices for those, and you know it's a process. So we received those last week, allowing us to put them on the docket to handle several invoices actually for the month of October. So yeah, that was a rather large number, but again, that's the ready funds that come from the state. There still will be a portion once all the ready funds are utilized that's the city's responsibility, but that's one part of it. And again, the clarifier, which the funds were already allocated, was another payment that went out through the construction. So that's why we have a rather large docket. Any other questions? No. Okay, hearing none, all in favor of approving the claims for November 18th totaling $2,393,201.15, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right, on to unfinished business. We have Butler, Fairman, Seifert here, Dave Buck, to discuss the closeout of the 2023-1 CCMG project. Dave, you want to give us an overview on Midwest Paving, NDOT, the city's closeout of this CCMG?
Thank you, Mary. You have before you in your packet several forms that we use to close out the construction of a project like this. We have a certificate of substantial completion, contractor's waiver of liens saying that they paid all their bills and all their suppliers. And there won't be anything come back on the city from subcontractor getting left out, not getting paid. Their final retainage invoice, which is progress payment number 12. That should be the amount of $101,425.87. Certificates to go with that. And then due to the timing of some of the construction and wrap up of the landscape restoration area, the city asked the contractor to provide a maintenance bond, a warranty bond for that work. And I have the original here for Julie tonight, but it's in the amount of $50,000 and it will run until July 3rd next year. Whoops, no, that's not the right date. That's the original contract date, excuse me. No, for a period of 1 year. So it'll more than cover making sure those areas are established, lawns are growing grass, and if not, this bond will help fund somebody to come back and redo that work. Midwest did tell me also that they have, I don't know what is really called, it's an agreement with Rowden-Bush Construction, who does this kind of work, that they would be the ones that they would have come in if anything needed to be done. So that might be the first consideration next spring. If we see some issues and it's not growing well, let them know, see if that arrangement can go forward. If not, this will cover the funding of whatever arrangements are needed for the city to make sure that work gets done. So,
Okay.
this protects the city to be able to close out the contract completely. And plus, on the other side of this, then now that's December 1st, we need to send all the closeout paperwork to NDOT to close the grant. So they have a month of December to review everything, close the books on their purchase order with the city of Delphi. And there'll be a balancing if you owe any money back or if you've overpaid on your match that you don't owe anything back on the grant. So we'll help Julie get through all that. There'll be all the full progress payments and everything to go with that, plus a letter and spreadsheet that we've already drafted up. So that should be pretty easy to turn around as soon as we get this canceled check from Midwest.
Okay. Thank you, Dave. You guys, board got any questions for Dave? Just a quick overview of the project. We had Rodenbush. Was it Rodenbush? Is that how you pronounce it? The company that come in and did some seeding at the end.
I'm not sure who that was.
Rodenbush, yeah.
I've heard it pronounced before,
So-
but I'm not sure.
They come back to fix some issues that we saw as a group, and after they did that, everything was great, other than we didn't get any rain. So that's why we put some additional protective measures in for the city, and we've had to do a couple things, but once this project is finalized, then we will be able to we'll have two. You can have two open projects with NDOT for CCMG. So this will now clear the slate to where obviously we'll revisit 2024-1 in January and get that one off and going. But at the same time, we will have this one closed. So now we'll have another opportunity if it arises. But been the nice finished product. The road's draining like it's supposed to, and other than getting it closed out, on to the next project.
So the 50,000 and kind of ensures that if they need to come back, we can still close it out.
We can still close it out because we have this additionally in place.
Okay.
Kind of outside of the actual contract requirements.
Yep.
So above and beyond.
Okay.
Any further questions?
Nope.
No. Okay. All in favor of approving the closeout information submitted by Butler Fairman for CCMG 2023-1 Indiana and Adams Street, signify by stating aye.
Aye.
Do I have to make a motion?
I'm
Did
sorry.
you? Oh,
No.
that's such a great presentation. I forgot to make a motion. Is there a motion to approve the closeout documentation submitted by Butler Fairman for the city of Delphi to close out CCMG 2023-1 Indiana and Adams Street?
So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Now, we already did discussion. All in favor of approving closing out CCMG 2023-1 Indiana and Adams Street, signify by stating aye.
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 Opposed? Very good. Thank you, Dave. It's been a long day.
Yeah.
So it's Monday. All right, next item of business is we have two excavation permits from Frontier Communications. The first one is 302 Water Street. Again, continuing efforts to provide high-speed broadband. Believe you guys, in the package, you have the civil plans. Is there a motion to approve the excavation permit for 302 Water Street, Frontier Communications?
So moved.
Second.
All right, discussion on this particular permit.
Aaron saw no problem with it.
No,
experience.
yeah. So each one of these we send to all department heads, Aaron, Craig, and Dick, to make sure all eyes are on it and there's not going to be any issues. If there is, we provide that feedback to the contractor requesting. Sometimes we have a TAC meeting, which is basically everybody in the room to make sure there's no issues, but we did not receive any feedback that there would be any issues with the submitted 302 Water Street.
No.
Any other discussion? Okay, All in favor of approving the excavation permit for 302 Water Street, Frontier Communications, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Second excavation permit request is also from Frontier Communications at 901 Prince William Road. Is there a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second,
Any discussion with this one?
on the paperwork, it has G after 901. Is that because it's a unit?
I don't know what the G was. Do you have any idea what that, JT? The 901 Prince William Road
There was a G just listed on the board.
on the application?
I'm sure it was an oversight on their part.
Yeah, so there's no address in our beacon system or city addressing system. It has a G, but maybe that was their way of for ground or, yeah, but I'm not sure why the G was there, but there is a 901 Prince William. So again, this one was also sent to the department heads for review. We did not receive any negative feedback, so. Any further discussion? All right, hearing none, all in favor of approving the excavation permit for 901 Prince William Road, Frontier Communications, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I'm an aye, motion carries. All right. On to future business announcements. We have JT Doan from the city of Delphi, Delphi Main Street. He's got a couple guests here to discuss the veterans banners.
Yes,
JT?
this is an exciting opportunity. Obviously, last week as we celebrated Veterans Day and a lot of different events and opportunity to speak and honor our veterans and honor their stories. And so to continue that as we honor our veterans as we should every day. We have an exciting project to get some banners up in the downtown area. You've seen them around other communities. Got a photo of the veteran. And so we've already got a rendering of what that looks like. We've already got a template form to work with that will be rolling out soon. And I'll be working closely with the Legion, the VFW, and then also we'll be back, I'm sure, here to share to other opportunities to get the word out that these banners are available. Our goal for 2025 is to have the banners out from around Memorial Day to run through Veterans Day. I also had the opportunity to sit down with Aaron Lyons and mention to him this project. And, he shared his support for the project, and obviously we'll coordinate our efforts on getting the banners out. But again, it's an opportunity for us to one more way to honor the story for our veterans. And so we're excited to roll this out. It's a collaborative effort. We have Delphi Main Street, we have Delphi Rotary, we have St. Elizabeth Healthcare. It's been an honor to work with Sarah with this project also. And so our request before you tonight is simply for your permission, approval to add this to our, to our downtown area on some of our light poles. Obviously, we'll coordinate with Aaron and, we've got the sizing on the different poles. And so there's to be some other coordination efforts. The group that we have the rendering from had done the banners that are up for the canal. So they're familiar with the light poles. So it'll be a very seamless transition with the banners. But again, we're excited to roll this out to honor the story of our veterans. And it'd be a 2025 around Memorial Day. And then the banners will be up through, through on or around Veterans Day for 2025.
Sarah, got anything to add? Here's your chance.
So are these funded by Main Street and all the people that are there, or is this something that like a family member of a veteran can purchase the flag?
Our first and foremost goal is to get it funded.
Okay,
We certainly have, and again, with the collaborative effort that we have with our Main Street and then our Rotary, we'll certainly, that is our goal. And so obviously we're going to work closely with the VFW and the Legion to discuss options, but if not, then obviously there's a lot of communities that do. There is a fee that goes to, to the family members. But our goal is to get it funded, by support and collaboration, which again just shows our united front to honor their story.
So you're just asking for the usage of the poles at this time?
Correct.
I make a motion that we approve the usage of the poles for the Veteran Day or veteran banners to run through Memorial to Veterans Day.
Second,
All right. First of all, I have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion amongst the board?
Further discussion, who is going to be taking care of the banners? Like after they're taken, are they going to be stored in the city buildings? Are we going to give them back to the families if the families are paying for them, or whoever does the funding for it? Have we got that far yet with it?
We have, and so
Okay.
our plan will be, we have space here, and so we will actually keep them here.
Okay.
That way they're all in a centralized location. And then as we roll in from 2025 and then we get into 2026, it's easy to get them. You know, we have them all at our disposal. I'll coordinate with Aaron and his, street and parks team,
Mhm.
and we'll.
I just want to make
Get
sure
them
they're
all.
not damaged when they're
Correct.
stored or whatever. So
Yeah.
that way that everything is uniform and looks nice and it's very representative of our veterans. I don't want the
Absolutely. Yeah.
banners to be.
Yeah, we'll
It's
put them,
indicated.
tuck them away in a designated spot, make sure they're covered and,
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
all right, Sarah, second chance.
No, he said it all.
You're, and then some, right?
No, we're very excited to have this going, so I appreciate his effort in working with me and stuff, so.
I've had some, we talked about this earlier this year and I told her that we would review any options that's come available and I'm glad that you guys proceeded on it and unfortunately it didn't happen this year, but it's one of those things where there's going to be a lot of planning involved with it, which it's good to get started now, right? Planning is key to success. So kudos to you guys for your efforts and yeah, excited that the city can help support that. So,
Likewise, a plan without action is just a dream,
Right.
right?
okay. Any further discussion from the board?
Nope.
Okay. All in favor of approving the Delphi Main Street, Saney, and I guess there's several, but approval to proceed with researching the project of issuing banners to the city polls to start on Memorial Day through Veterans Day for 2025. Does that cover everything in that motion, Julie? Okay, signify by stating aye.
Hi.
Opposed? Motion carries 3-0. Thank you.
Thank you.
Keep us
Appreciate it.
updated on everything. And when you get to that point of when you need additional support or whatever, come to the board and be happy to hear it.
Will do. Thank you.
Okay.
We appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you, Sarah. Thank you, boss.
Andrew.
I used to work with Andrew at NDOT and I know he is a United States Marine, correct?
Yes, sir.
So thank you for your service and we're happy to get this started and see what we can do for 2025. All right. Next is our prestigious guest, Mr. Dick Bradshaw, former Board of Works member, here to discuss the Delphi Christmas Parade. Mr. Bradshaw.
I think this is probably remember, the Christmas parade was started by the Presbyterian Church. Okay, and they ran that for several years and when they had Schulte and his wife, and when they decided to give it up, the Alliance took over the parade. The same thing happened with the Independence Day parade, is that there was a group headed by Bob Walton at that time. They did it until they wanted to give it up and we took it over. So we've done both of those parades for many, many years. And this year again, the Christmas parade scheduled for December the 7th, famous day. It also is the same day that the canal has Canal Christmas. So there are a lot of things going on. There are also some groups giving out toys. I think they're going to be at the courthouse, I believe. Was it Sciots or which one of those groups does
think it's
that during
Tri-Cap.
that time? I think they do that in the morning. Is it Sciots? that does it?
Right.
Tri-Cap or Tri-Cap? So we're asking for permission to use the streets and to have the city do the work that they did in terms of blocking off the streets and making sure we have access. We've always said that this is a parade that's in cooperation with the city because very fortunately, we have been blessed to have a city that has always cooperated and helped and never thrown up obstacles in our way. So we appreciate that. The information about the parade is on this, and this year we have a kind of a special parade marshal, Dr. Greg Norman, who, as most of you, probably all of you know and probably use. He's been so involved in our community since the time his wife drug him up here from they were in school together, and she drug him up here to take over Dr. Tam, which I'm sure none of you know who Dr. Tam is, but he was the almost original eye doctor in Delphi. And when he went out of business, so to speak, he gave his practice basically to Greg Norman, and that's been, I don't know, back in the seventies. I can't tell you the date exactly. But Dr. Norman has, I think, 14 or 15 offices now. And he has like 15 doctors working for him, including his 2 children. Which those are people that we're trying to get back to our community. We hate to lose our children, and we've lost a lot. We need to get them back, and that was a pretty good find for us to get those 2 kids back. Anyway, the information is on here. Hopefully you will show up. Hopefully we'll have a good turnout. Hopefully have good weather. We love this parade because it gets lots of kids. Lots of kids come to the Christmas parade. The theme this year is Christmas toys, so if you have an idea for a float, if you have an idea for a car, or any kind of a vehicle to be in the parade, or if you have an idea for a walking group, because walking groups are very, it's a favorite thing for them. You don't have to have a big investment, and you know, if you get kids in a parade, you get parents to come to the parade. So we always encourage that. So we would like to have that permission, and I just got permission from the county today to put our sign on the courthouse lawn. Of course, Jim Tyner is the guy that's the head of there's 2 ends to a parade. There's the beginning and the end. And Jim Tyner is gonna be in charge of the beginning. So we're really looking forward. He's kind of new at that, but we're looking forward to it. So looking forward to the parade. So we need permission from the city.
Make a motion to
Okay.
approve the Lions Club request for the parade route and use whatever they need from us for the 2024 parade, Christmas parade. On
Second.
December 7th. There.
Yeah.
There you go.
Hey,
Okay, I have a motion and a second, and just to piggyback off what Mr. Bradshaw said, if anyone attended the 4th of July parade this year, the seeing the citizens out there, it brings that hometown feel to the city. So hopefully that's a turnout we have for the Christmas parade. There's a lot of work that goes into parades, a lot of logistics coordinating. So kudos to the Lions for every year. There's a lot of efforts involved to a parade. It might not seem like a big parade, but for logistics wise, they put in a lot of work for it. So on that, all in favor of approving the closure of the streets for the Delphi Christmas Parade on December 7th, 2024, and it's going to be the same route, correct?
yes.
So same route as 2023, signified by stating aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Very good. Thank you, sir. You would let us know where you want probably the same as last year, or we get Aaron coordinated with
Aaron
everything.
knows exactly what to do. And,
Okay.
So you get a copy of that to him. Sure. Everybody's informed.
Okay. Very good. All right. Any board comments?
I do have a topic that was brought up, uniform allowance for the PD. I'll just have Nate talk about it real quick.
Sure. Chief Lamar?
I brought it up to Miriam after the last council meeting about, we have money allocated for uniform allowance for Delphi PD officers. Talking to the clerk's office, they thought that maybe it should go under salary and wage ordinance. Miriam had said that it should not go under that, that it was a benefit outside of salary and wages. And obviously the clerk's office needs something in writing in reference to being able to pay that out to officers. So I don't know if it's something that we look to Miriam on, if it needs to be a resolution or what it needs to be, but want to make sure that it got brought up before the end of the year to get it squared away if we need to do so.
Okay, Miriam, so will this be a December resolution if the board approves moving forward on this evening, or how do you want us to proceed with obviously 2024 is going to stay the same, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
This would be part of the salary and benefits package for the police officers, and I'm not quite sure where you've got that in writing. It can be, if you've got it in your handbooks, it can just be an update to the handbooks. If it's something that, I'm not sure where you, I'll have to look and see where you've got your other benefits put into writing somewhere. I can get with Chief Lamar and see where it should be in writing. Bottom line is probably something that the council would vote on, since it's an amendment to their benefits. Don't know that it would be, it's something that you can give as an information item to the Board of Works, but I think the council would be the one that would be voting on it.
Sorry, Mary, would that be a resolution that we do for the amendment of the benefits part of it for the council? Or, because I know obviously the council approved the money to be allotted for the uniform expense, the uniform allowance.
Probably
So-
just a resolution to change, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I might need to see kind of where you've already got it written and where it is already allocated, so I know how to make sure it gets redirected to the correct spot.
I think it's only listed as just a budgeted item and not actually been put into the salary or wage ordinance or any benefit stuff. I think it's just from the council aspect, we just went through and put it in and said, hey, you had that much money for the uniform allowance per officer.
Okay.
So I think it's open and vague.
Yes, in which case it might not require anything at all. Let me get with Chief Lamar and possibly with Julie to see where it's documented, and then we can make sure that it gets
Taken care of.
correctly. Mhm.
Okay, thank you,
I think
Mary.
we need a resolution. It's better to have one and not need it
Yes.
than
Yeah.
need it and not have it.
Yep.
Yep.
Sure.
Add that to our December 2nd, I believe,
Council doc.
council docket.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you.
Any further board comments?
I have nothing else.
Okay, I have one, just a quick reminder that the Front Street, the interurban project is in full string. So there is, there's allotted parking spots that have been in place and will continue to stay in place. However, there's no parking for areas that's not designated parking. We don't have signs because the construction, there's gonna be a lot of large equipment there. A lot of movement, a lot of activity throughout the project. So just, anybody that parks there is parking at their own risk. The parking spots that are there that have been allocated through the ordinance are obviously parking is fine there. But anywhere parallel or on either side of the north side or south side of Front Street and parking spots that's not allocated parking, you're parking at your own risk and subject to be, parking enforcement ticket or being towed. So that's just a quick reminder as we continue progress on the interurban and Front Street improvement project. Clerk Treasurer Price, any comments?
Is that they replaced one of our switches for the equipment downstairs, because we had another one that was going bad. And so our computers were glitching last week, so they replaced it, which it was a minimal fee. Hopefully it can hold us out until after the first of the year.
Yeah.
What are we talking about?
It was a
Power
switch or a modem
It
or,
was hard, like one of the hard drives was born.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
which we
Yeah.
allocated for 2025 for that to be completely
Yeah.
upgraded. And now we see the true reasoning of why we need to do so.
I
So,
think we had a lot of issues with our computers. Like everything was slow. We were like, what is going on? And then it sent a thing to the tech guys saying that we had one of those going out. So we ended up having to replace that one. So I think that's the second or third one we've replaced.
Okay.
second one this
So
year. So.
we're crossing our fingers and.
Yeah, the good thing is
They're
that
not-
sends
give us a month.
them an alert and gets them in on it pretty quickly. And that's a nice feeling to know when it comes to our networking. So. Any other comments, Clerk Treasurer Price?
No.
No, hear none. Public comments? Sir?
Justin wants his check.
I just wanted to compliment the Board of Works, the City Council, and the Chief of Police for the amount of time and effort that went into managing the Richard Allen Parade. The amount of time and effort behind the scenes that the police department goes through was beyond. So like for you guys to understand the staffing needs that took place, we greatly appreciated it. That would have never happened in other administrations. There would have been no real foresight to plan for failure. And I only compliment people when they are deserving, and Chief Lamar has worked tirelessly, more than I would even know, to make sure that it was a safe event and a prolonged thing that everyone had to endure. So I'd like to thank you all for that. It's greatly appreciated, at least on the working end of it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Appreciate that, and appreciate all of your guys' efforts as well. It was a challenging time for everyone, but I've got a lot of feedback on how smooth things went. And that's also from media outlets to people that were here just here. And again, that was coordinated efforts. Chief Lamar was probably tired of the 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock in the morning texts, but we tried to keep things proactive and with the safety of our public in mind at every step of the way. And to the officers that could have been doing other things, they chose to stick around and due diligence, be in their squad cars to protect the city. And we were vigilant everywhere. We were on the trails, we were all over the city, and that was for a good reason. So I think things went very, very smooth. And at the end of the day,
Thank
we
you
are
for keeping
past
us
that part
informed.
of it. And yeah, so
Safe,
thank you guys.
protected. We appreciate you.
Absolutely. Any other public comments? Here none, there's
Motion to
one
adjourn.
last.
Second.
There it is. I have a motion and a second to adjourn. Oh, hang on just a second. Miriam, I almost did it again.
I'll rescind my motion. There we go.
Any comments from our legal team, Miriam Robinson?
Nope, not other than what you've already covered tonight.
Okay, very good.
Not motion to adjourn.
I have a motion to adjourn. Is there a second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor of adjourning the Board of Works meeting, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
And I'm an aye. Very good. Thank you, guys. This Board of Works meeting is adjourned at 6:01 PM. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Miriam.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.